This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for clicking on today's video where we are going to do a mailbag, where we are reacting to what all of the real ones saw in week one. So make sure you are subscribed to the channel because this mailbag, it was recorded on our live show that we do every single Monday during the season. So if you didn't get your question on the show, it means you weren't there on the live show and you missed a heck of a lot of fun. Matthew O, my man, first question coming in on today's video. Thank you, my man, for the $5 super chat. What up, Marsh? What's your confidence the Giants can win against the Chiefs? I think there's a way the Giants could beat the Chiefs. I think there's a way that the Giants can get a win. They're going to have to play their best game of the season, though. They're going to have to play better than they did against Dallas. They're going to have to play better than they did against Washington. For a lot of people know what 0-2 means. And 0-2 for the Giants doesn't hit nearly as hard as 0-2 for the Chiefs, because that's a team that's trying to go win a Super Bowl. And I think the biggest Giants fan and homer in the world would agree that the Giants are not a Super Bowl-ready team. But the Chiefs are going to come in playing like their season is on the line. That this era of Chiefs football is on the line. They're going to be motivated. They're going to be ready to rock and roll. Giants are going to have to play their best ball. What's my confidence level? 3.5 out of 10. 3.5 out of 10. That's kind of where I'm at this point. Lord Jordy, what up, bro? $5 super chat. How much would winning this Sunday change the way you feel about the season and team? I think we can beat the Chiefs. His confidence level is an 8 out of 10. How much would winning this Sunday change the way you feel about this team? It would change everything how I feel about this team. It would give everybody that watches this team and calls themselves a Giants fan hope and a belief that they are on their way to being a successful NFL team again. I know the Chiefs are 0-2, but that's a Super Bowl contender. They got one of the best quarterbacks that's ever spun it on their team. They got one of the best offensive head coaches in NFL history. They've got an all-time great tight end. They got a championship-winning defense. It ain't going to be easy this Sunday. And that's why if you go and beat that team, everyone is going to be back in on the New York Giants. That's a statement game on Sunday Night Football, at your home, at your crib, your turf. Go and win that game and watch the narrative get flipped on its head. If you don't, you're going to be 0-3. And we know what that means. Jinxie Eats, what's up, my man? Thank you for the super chat. I'm losing faith that Daboll can manage a coaching staff. What about you, Marsh? Love the show. Yeah, I mean, look, the Giants are 9-27 in their last 36 games. 9-27 in your last 36 games. It's kind of just blind faith at this point. It's blind faith. There's nothing tangible that's really happened over the last 36 games that tells you I got faith in Brian Daboll. When it comes to managing a coaching staff, it's one of my biggest gripes with him. I don't think he knows how to build a staff. Shane Bowen is not a good defensive coordinator. You're already on your second offensive line coach. You're on your second defensive coordinator. You're on your second defensive back coach. You're on your second special teams coordinator. Your second offensive line coach. I don't know if I already said that. You're technically on your third offensive coordinator because it was Kafka, then it was you, then it was Kafka again. Yeah. I mean, I think Brian Daboll's a good football coach. I don't really know if he is, though. I don't really know. What's your biggest takeaway from the Week 2 loss to the Dallas Cowboys? I would love everybody to get in the comment section. Let me know your biggest takeaway from the Week 2 loss against Dallas. Sound off for me. Mark from Boise, $5 super chat. What's up, buddy? What would a DC hiring even look like early mid-season? Are there precedents to this? Do we trust the interim being a part of this staff? What would a DC hiring look like? I don't know if the Giants would bring in somebody from the outside to be the defensive coordinator at this point. I don't think the New York Giants are going to fire Shane Bowen. If they were, they would have done it on Monday morning. Now, if you let the Kansas City Chiefs go and blow you out, and after week 3, you're the worst defense in the NFL in yardage, worst defense against the run, and the second worst defense in the red zone like you are right now, then maybe you do fire him. If they do fire him, I think it would be an upgrade from within. I think it would be Andre Patterson, defensive line coach. I think he would get the boost to the defensive coordinator job. Andre Patterson was the, let me just make sure I'm saying this correctly. In 2020 and 2021 with the Minnesota Vikings, he was the co-defensive coordinator. He was the co-defensive coordinator in 2020 and 2021 with the Minnesota Vikings when their head coach, I'm blanking on, Mike Zimmer, Coach Zimmer was their head coach. So he's at least had the title of being a defensive coordinator. I don't think he actually called the plays. But, yeah, I think it would be an upgrade from within. Do I trust him? Well, I don't trust Shane Bowen. So, yeah, I trust the next guy just as much, or I guess just as little as Shane Bowen. Lord Jordy back again. What's up, Brody? I know he had a bad preseason, but I think Jalin Hyatt could bounce back. What do you think about giving him a few plays? Might as well. He's on the roster. He's the only player on the Giants that didn't play in week 2. I don't even know if he played a snap in week 1. I'll double check that right now. But yeah, only player on the team that did not play in week 2. He didn't play in week 1 either. So he hasn't logged a snap this year. So yeah, not good. Not really worried about Jalin Hyatt at this point. I think he's got 9 toes out the door. Yeah, not really worried about Jalin Hyatt. We got more questions to get into, but first, I got to give a huge shout out to our proud sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. When you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS, they've got an awesome deal for you. So listen up. Download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup, win or lose. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. It's super easy. PrizePicks, simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Also, PrizePicks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. I've already got my lineup ready to rock and roll for week 3 of the NFL season. Give me the less on Tua's passing yards. Give me the more on half a rushing or receiving touchdown for Josh Jacobs. And I'm going to take advantage of the awesome deal that they have for week 3, as they have set Patrick Mahomes' passing yards to just half a yard. So you can roll with my picks. You could fade my picks, but I kindly ask that you do it with PrizePicks. PrizePicks.com/CLNS, promo code CLNS. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineups. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. All that information will be clickable down in the comments and description of today's video. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring Giants Now by Chat Sports. All right. Next question coming up here on the mailbag. Shout out to everybody that got their questions in. We wouldn't be able to do these mailbags if it was not for y'all. Seth Gross, what up, my man? What can the New York Giants do to shore up their run defense? It's a great question, because at the time of recording this video, the New York Giants have allowed 355 rushing yards through 2 games. It's the most in the National Football League. They're giving up on average 177.5 rushing yards per game. I think it's got to be a change of scheme. I think it needs to be a change of philosophy. And you need your best players to be the best players. You need you need Dexter Lawrence to give you a little bit more. Probably unfair to ask that of Dexter Lawrence, but that's what you need at this point. You need your inside linebackers to make plays. You're injured there. Next man up. You got to find a guy that could fit run holes, gap integrity, running lanes. They got to be better, and they got to tackle better. 11 missed tackles in the game against Dallas. There were multiple plays, but if the New York Giants just made tackles, they eliminate big plays. You go to the 30-yard rushing touchdown by Javonte Williams. The Giants don't make the tackle. You go to overtime, 2nd and 29. The Giants don't make the tackle in the backfield. So a lot of things. David Hernandez, do you think a vet free agent signing is coming for the inside linebacker room? I hope so. I think it kind of has to at this point. If we go and take a look, Andrew Connell, at that Giants inside linebacker depth chart, there's a lot more questions than I think that room can answer. Like, Micah McFadden is not coming back for a long time. He's on IR, meaning he is going to miss at minimum 6 weeks. So you're going to need to find a way to get some quality play from some players at the linebacker spot that simply just aren't really NFL players. Like, no disrespect to my guy, I don't think Swayze Bosman is going to be the answer there. I don't think Chris Board is going to be the answer there. So the Giants need to find an answer at that inside linebacker room. Austin Bloss, what up, bro? What will it take for Shane Bowen defensive play call? What will it take to take Shane Bowen's defensive play calling away like Daboll did with Kafka? I would hope we're getting close. You're giving up the most total yards in the NFL, over 900. 90 more yards than any other team in 2 games. And you have the worst run defense in the NFL, and you have the second worst red zone defense in the NFL. Brian Daboll on Hard Knocks said, I am going to hire Shane Bowen because of his bend but don't break defense, being able to generate stops in the red zone. They don't do that. And his ability to stop the run. They do not do that. So that's like saying I hired someone to cut my lawn, but they can't mow the grass. Like, I don't know, man. Oh, Rexa, what up, bro? Giants hot take. Giants finally hit on an offensive lineman in a long time in Marcus Bowe. Start Marcus Bowe at left tackle if Andrew Thomas is out. Maybe even throw him in at starting guard. Also, if we fire Bowen, who's available next year? That's too far away for me at this point to go and take a look at it. To be honest with you, I don't really know who the top defensive coordinators are going to be at this time next year. Maybe there's a head coach that's a defensive guy that gets fired and he becomes that guy. I know there was a lot of defensive coordinators this offseason the Giants could have chose from that are a heck of a lot better than Shane Bowen. But yeah, Marcus Bowe should start at left tackle till Andrew Thomas is back. And when Andrew Thomas is back, the Giants need to find a spot for Bowe on this offensive line. He's a top 5 offensive lineman. Best 5 guys need to play. Peyton, last question on this mailbag. What's up, man? Do you think it is easier for our defense to stop the Chiefs' offense than the Cowboys' offense? There's more skill position talent on Dallas. The Chiefs don't have a CeeDee Lamb. Chiefs don't necessarily have a George Pickens. Chiefs' running back room is not that good. They do have a Travis Kelce. How much gas is left in the tank of Travis Kelce? But the Chiefs also have Patrick Mahomes. They may be 0-2. I still think he's the best quarterback in the NFL. So, yeah. Can Mahomes do it with a band full of backup singers? He's already done it a couple of times in the Super Bowl. That Chiefs offense is looking for a get-right game, and they're staring at the New York Giants. If you want to beat the Chiefs, you want to send them to 0-3, you want to make a statement on Sunday Night Football, the home opener at MetLife Stadium, hit that thumbs up icon for me. We'd really, really appreciate it. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram @MarshallGreen_.